That's how we do that on a beautiful Friday morning. This is Like It Is Radio.
We are back. It's Like It Is Radio. Still keeping it black. You know how we got to do it. It's all about what you do with yourself and how you stay connected. And again, I want to shout out Brother Ike. And if you get a chance to go out to check out the border fair that the lady is going to be presenting from Senegal, she said she danced to humanity. You can see it. That's all I'm going to tell y'all. I'm going to give you my radio audience the right perspectives. So they got stuff going on. We're trying to connect you. Brother Ike has his show. He will be back on Monday. And, it's all about the community. So we need to go out and support all the businesses that are trying to make a difference in our community. Especially, I didn't know, but I know there's a lot more Africans here since we got Uber. I'm going to put it like that. I had some folks that's like, hey, they said they was using Uber from the hotels up to my residence, and there was quite a few Africans. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So my visitors told me that. So we got to stay connected with the growing community that is melanated. And part of the things that we need to do is make sure that the skills that we have, again, to fortify us with the balance, to keep us with the armor we need. Power 88 provides you the information on how to get it. Yoga skills. Now, Cheryl ain't here today. I know she's one of your mentees. I'm gonna let you know, Cheryl. You done left me here. I don't yoga, but I like to enjoy the fact that I know it started in Africa because I've seen it on the walls. Mm-hmm. So my co-host Cheryl is, she on the job today. So she said she couldn't make it. She wanted to dialogue. She had all kind of questions. She was trying to fix it. I'm gonna let them talk. Because yoga is important, and if you know where it starts or started, as I said, I've been blessed to go to Egypt and seen and travel with Baba Ashra Kwesi and some other stuff. We have Brother Jabari in here, our connecting.
Yes.
He holds class every Sunday on his thing, but yoga is an essential part of the original health. Before they had the universal gym and all them weights and stuff like that, they just had hard work and yoga. I'm gonna be real. I'm putting it real. That hard work and yoga. So now we still have hard work, but most of us have fallen away from the thing that we know can keep our bodies, keep us straight. Other cultures and other things, hard to tell you, came there, but we know that the original man brought it here. And in that vein, I'll get out of the way because if you know Mrs. Suda and Mr. Suda, I'd say his wife's name first. If you know Matisha, you know him. Because they are balanced. They provide that energy, that analysis we need as a community to make it work.
Soul Yoga Fest is a global event. It's gone on in Paris, Jamaica, Ghana. It will be in the Gambia very soon. Chicago, Atlanta. So this is the second year that we are holding it in Las Vegas. And it basically is a weekend of holistic living. It's a weekend of African health. So we have free classes for the community all day tomorrow at the Pearson Center, 1625 West Cary, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Oh, you got what?
Yes, so
several sessions. I mean, someone can you don't have to stay there that entire time. There's several sessions.
You don't have
ongoing.
to stay the entire time.
Okay.
Once you come in, you will get a schedule. So there's going to be several classes going on every hour on the hour through 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And we have Kemetic Yoga instructors that are here from Baltimore, that are here from New York, that are here from Jamaica, that are here from all over the world to share this African spiritual practice with our people.
No, you just said that African spiritual practice because
yes.
They just got finished with Resurrection Sunday. You just blew some minds. How is it? Or could you elaborate or just intonate what is spiritual about this yoga thing?
Everything is spiritual about yoga because it has to do with the mind, body, spirit connection. So every movement in Kemetic Yoga is connected with the breath. So it's not done fast as most Western yoga that is homogenized does today. So it's very slow moving. You move with the breath. You move the body slowly in geometric progression, which means we start in simple poses and then move to more complex poses. And by the end of your session, you should feel a major amount of energy, more clarity and focus in the mind. It's an absolutely beautiful practice. So that's what makes it spiritual. And then while you're practicing, you can also create your reality by thinking of things, seeing yourself doing them, and manifesting them through your practice. And these poses that we do are on the ancient walls that still are alive in Kemet, that are still there inscribed.
The forces are working. The forces are working with that brother. The force is strong on that brother there.
Yes, so that's why it's spiritual.
Well, no, people need to understand it because a lot of folks are like now they go say, oh, these folks, other folks who are not so much melanated, going into these hot rooms to do things and say they're gaining this type of experience. When we understand the spiritual experience is not being exposed.
Right. And we also have to understand, too, that a lot of the things that are being promoted today are actually African spiritual practices that have been repackaged and resold back to us. But we are the creators of those practices.
And you already know that. I've seen you in pyramid style and in front of the pyramid with the brother right here. Brother Suda was actually over there.
Yes.
Walking around all garmented out. People, he's giving classes and all.
Always.
I know. He said you got to walk around with 5 or 6 business cards with him. What's going on, Brother Suda? Good morning. How are you doing?
My brother, thank you very much. I must say, and Sons Foundation is sponsoring Soul Yoga Fest. The reason that's particularly important...
He's a businessman, y'all. The phone won't stop. The phone won't stop.
Please forgive me. We're sponsoring, and we've been given the privilege to sponsor this year. But I want to just say something very, very briefly. The reason that we're able to do that in many ways is because of you. Now, I say that for this reason. Because we started the Sonship program.
Yes.
You were the very first donor to us.
Oh no! If I could correct you, you were the first donor. You patient number one.
Well, okay.
I'll have to give you props on you because if you not started it, it would not be what it is today. And the people that you have affected, many of them I know, would not have been affected. So number one.
I do appreciate that, but I also must add to that, were it not for persons like you, particularly you, because you took 2 of my sons with you to Washington, D.C. And I recently posted on your page as well as my own, you and they standing in the front of the sculpture of the Dr. King. Now, the reason that's particularly important, because one of the young men, his name is Alex Matthews.
Yes,
and he has subsequently had 2 sons.
Yes, twins.
He has returned to be a teacher.
I saw that.
Yes. And I want to thank you for that. And that cannot go unacknowledged and unrecognized because it is persons like you. Anytime I've asked you for something, you've asked me when. That's it.
Oh.
And I want to thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure, sir. My pleasure. What you do, I can't do. So I have to expose and express what you guys do. That's what makes it the family. We all have to get along, but every now and then we just got to get together.
Yes.
And that's what the important thing is. And that's what I think yoga does, and that's what you do with the Sonship program. We'll delve into that in a minute, but I want to keep the focus on the ladies. I don't say ladies because it's anybody can come to this event.
Anyone can come. There's going to be specialized classes just for men that's going to be taught by a man. There's going to be specialized classes for elders, classes
Hold
for...
on, old men? Is that what you're trying to say, old men? First you said men and then you said elders.
Well...
You talking about old men? Looking at me, I got a cane today too, so I need to come.
Yes, you can come. Men, elders, children. We're having African storytelling. We're having Orisha dance. We're having West African dance. We're having a twerk class. We're having all forms of African
You know
movement.
I can't let that go. I'm just that kind of melanated brother. You having... Wait. Twerking is yoga?
No, twerking is an African movement, and...
Well, if it's done right by Africans, let's just put it that way. All right, let's move on. But go ahead. Twerking?
Yes. Twerking is an African movement. Absolutely.
It's good for the heart. I know it's good for mine.
Yeah, I guess that we should understand that there's a valuable aspect to realize that the language is different. The language. We do not necessarily as a people call it twerking. It has been given that label, but it's been it has been a part of African movement for as long as there have been Africans dancing.
All right. Well, I know I seen it on the HBCU campus, a Freaknik. I don't know what they called it before that, but in its own essence, though,
Yes.
that is, I mean, if you could explain to somebody, because I know some folk want to come out for that, because,
Yes. I mean, that particular dance can help heal a lot of trauma that people go through. I know it's unbelievable. Some people...
I believe.
But actually, twerking... rapid, vigorous movement of the hip, which is connected to the womb, which is the seat of creation.
Realize that part of the viewpoint perhaps that is missing, the African has always done the work to dance, to music, to rhythm.
Right. That's how we built the village.
That's how we build the village.
Correct.
That's how we interacted with nature. That's how we interacted with life.
Even the hunting or going in for training or the water. as you said, we've been blessed to be on the continent, see some of those things.
That's correct.
Yes.
But most of us just see, Soul Train or American Band, whatever it is that era fits to see the
Right,
dance.
right,
Yeah.
right.
But understanding that really has definitely come from even though they didn't have Lil Wayne, they had Lil Wayne flavor. they was preparing us for that.
Yes.
So who were some of the people that work with you here? Because I know you got a cadre of folks that work with you. I want to blast everybody out.
Well, we have wonderful Kemetic Yoga instructors that are certified that work with us at Sacred Geometry. We have Sister Gail Ferguson, who is our modern day sage, our documenter, our historian. She takes beautiful photography. Then we also have Sister Brittany Kemp, who teaches on Thursdays, and Sister Uniqua Taylor, who teaches on Fridays. Myself, I teach on Sunday. We have Master Yasir Rahotep that comes in from wherever
Now,
he is in the
I've
world.
interviewed him, right?
Yes, you have.
We missed each other. Was he the brother when I was on the continent that we were trying to hook up with?
Yes. You were in Kemet at the same time.
Right.
So he comes to do workshops. He will be having a workshop this Sunday at the studio, and he will be at Soul Yoga Fest since it is his festival. I'm just hosting. And, we have lots of people in the community that have their events at Sacred Geometry. It's proven to be a really wonderful community space where people can do all things African, uninhibited, and free.
Oh, I know, because you had my friend speaking up in there, Annika. I was like, hold up. If she got a platform, it's a beautiful place.
Mama Omiale.
I always I knew her as Annika, and I apologize.
Yeah.
She gonna curse me. I told you, and you supposed to be smart. That's what she gonna come at me. I've educated you. But again, the things that you've been able to do. How long has your organization or your studio been open?
Studio is going on 2 years this September.
Woo.
Yeah. Very excited about that.
That is great. And what made you want to? I mean, I know Vegas has a lot of things, and I know they got yoga here. What made you want to do this African-centered yoga?
Well, because I'm an African woman and I try to do things that are African-centered, and how Kemetic Yoga changed me. It really inspired me to share with my community, and to know that this is one vehicle in which they can heal themselves, and expand their consciousness and create.
All right. No, I'm all about the expanding of one's consciousness, and I know that some of the positioning, the things that allow you to get into yourself, so to speak. I don't know if they still use that frame of mind or that. You're there by yourself. You're there for you. So how you move is going to be concentrated on what the therapy you're bringing in out of yourself.
Yes.
Comes from you.
Yes.
So that's important. I do a little reading. I have to read. Sometimes I have to read their stuff.
Franklyn, you smart.
I gotta read their stuff. Gotta know. But as we look at it, and I just want to interject in what you do, because your organization, you said Sons has been around. You've been doing it because all men are somebody's son, and that's really important. You may not be somebody's. You could be so this, and that, but the only thing we always have in common with each other, as I guess not estrogenated or melanin or whatever it is, whatever the man has. The bottom line is the opportunity for young men to come and sit with elders and get some of the grace and knowledge that you've been able to provide over the years with different individuals.
Yes. Well, we, as men, we must recognize that we all are sons. The particular value of that is that because of the nature of our experience in this country, the social divide of the family gives people the impression that you can have a single parent family. That's an impossibility. You can have a parent, that's one parent, but it's very important to understand there's no such thing as a single parent family. A family requires both a male and a female. In the absence of a father, you have an absent father and something that is left dormant that cannot interact fully with both children, whether that child is male and female. The male provides an example for the daughter. He provides a framework for the boy to understand what the nature of things are and how he's going to have to act and interact with his life and himself and his community as a man. That training must come from a man. We love our sisters, but they cannot create men. They can create males with the assistance of the co-creator, the male, which is the father. But we do have to have the man present within the household to have a family, and that's very important to understand. The reason that doesn't work in our families is because with the male being decimated, removed, many instances hung, shot, murdered, goes to war, of which we both are familiar with. That being the case, when that male is not there, who trains the son to become a man? That is why the father has to wait until the boy can ask the question, Dad, can I talk with you? At that point in time, he knows that there's someone there, present of mind, that he can communicate with. That value then moves him from being a baby to a boy to exploring the fortunes of becoming a man. Then the father can take over. In the absence of that father, we have 65-year-old boys who are just simply males who've yet to become men. Sonship program is about that very thing. How do we do that? We have to teach them some 5 very basic things, and much of which relate to character. One of which is ethics, integrity, honor, responsibility, and accountability. If those things are present in the heart of males, they become men. When that's true, even though they may not have jobs, they are wealthy men, and that's what we need. In advance of simply seeking jobs, we must have men.
There you have it, the balance, y'all. I told you what was coming your way. I hope you got it, because this brother here and this sister here are keeping that balance. They work together to keep the community together. And I mean that by saying they got children, I'm sure, but they working with other people's children for sure. That's all I can say, that they are taking care of the village. So I do appreciate what you do. How can they reach you, Brother Suda?
You can reach me at 702-325-5356.
Now, you know, you're going to have to say that slow. I know you got your melodic radio voice on all the time. He talk like this all the time.
No, that's how he talks.
Like, every day. This is not for radio, y'all. Hello, Brother Franklin. When you get a chance, will you please return this call at your earliest convenience? Say that slowly so they can get with you, because if you have a son, if you have a young man that you think needs some input from men, because I know they get it from women. I know they get it. I know that, I don't mean to generalize, but I know the school is full of teachers who are not men. Yes. I know some of our role models, especially in the penal system, the judges we sit in front of are not men. If you have an organization or you have a son that you'd like to work with this brother right here, who put it down prophetically, who lets you know been doing it for a minute successfully, this is the man, one of the men that you can reach. Brother Suda, if you tell them how to reach you again.
Once again, 702-325-5356. I really invite fathers with their sons to come. The value of that is once a father interacts with his son and see through his son's eyes, he relates to his sonship and with his father, or the absence of that father. But it lays the framework and the groundwork and the foundation for him to act with his son in a totally different manner than he did previously. So I invite both fathers and son to participate together. Nothing has been more rewarding than to watch that happen.
Well, I know we do that, and I would say a lot of fathers probably do that on the sidelines or the basketball court. You could do it in another place, too. I just let you know that. Because, I know a lot of, I see them how they drag their kids to that football. They'll be, if that ain't his thing, this is the thing to come get him with. Because that football, trust me, my knee is messed up. And the man who did it to me, his name's Steve Francis. I keep putting out. He played for the 49ers. He was a 300-pound, and he blew me out my junior year and changed my life. But the reality is, that football ain't going to last forever, but what you offer lasts forever. So I do appreciate what you have been able to do.
I do thank you. We are sort of limited in our time of operation. We can only operate on Saturday in a space that's donated by a sister by the name of Michelli, who has allowed us to have the space on Saturdays from 11 until 2. So we do have a 3-hour session with the men. We talk about science. We interact with science. We talk about astronomy. We do certainly stress character because we want men to be men. We want boys to become men. We need to convert them from being boys to males to men.
Because in fact, I got an idea. I meant to tell you. I'm trying to figure out this thing next year for the Kemetic in the Desert series. So I want to involve your men group because I'm working with Master of Mindsets, but your men's group because there's a song. before we go back to you, there's a song that they sang a few years ago. It's called "You Will Know."
Yes.
We got Albie Shaw in the studio right up here on the wall. Terry Riley, these people live out here. I'll email it to you. It's where they had a lot of, it came out about maybe, I'm dating myself because all of us were young, but even then it was called You Will Know. And it was nothing but young black men singing on stage. It's a big thing. I want your group to come sing that with these other men's groups that we're putting together for next year, the Kemetic in the Desert series in February.
Brother, I welcome the opportunity to interact with any group of men that are working with men to assist boys to become men, to approach their ideas of becoming more ideal and more whomever it is. I'm more than happy to work with them.
We know that. We're going to get back with you because remember that song. If you got a youth group out there, You Will Know. Go YouTube it.
I've heard that.
It's young men singing. It's written by D'Angelo and Albie Shaw's on the stage. A lot of them who ain't even around no more. But in any event, we're going to get back to your event because that's happening tomorrow.
Yes.
You can come out, get your yoga, get your stretch on, get your mind right, get your balance straight. I'm sure Brother Suda will be there.
I'll be there.
All right, so you can get a piece of his action too. But the bottom line is, again, tomorrow at the Pearson Center, you can break it all down for them.
Yes, tomorrow at the Pearson Center, which is 1625 West Cary Avenue, We will be starting at 9 a.m., going all the way through 5 p.m. You do not have to stay for the entire 8 hours. If you can, great. If you cannot, just stop in. You can grab a schedule. You can take any class you want for free. It's a family
For what?
event.
Hold on, say that again.
Everything is free tomorrow. The only thing that you will have to pay for is if you support a vendor. But all the classes are free. The Kemetic Yoga instructors have flown in from all over the world, and they are donating their time to teach the community of Las Vegas. So everything is free. We're going to have things for the children. We're going to have African storytelling. We're going to have face painting. We're going to have different dance classes, but all Kemetic yoga classes. All of the yoga is going to be taught from an African perspective, and all of the food on the premises is going to be plant-based. No meat, no dairy. So we really want you to feel that vitality when you're circulating that energy, doing all these wonderful classes, and then nourishing the body with life-sustaining, life-giving food, because that is the first line of defense for our health, is food, what we put inside of our bodies.
No doubt, no doubt. And you guys are filling our bodies and filling our minds with the energy we need. As I said, I think it's armor. That's how we got to where we are, right? Being reassured we were melanated people and we got some things going for us.
Yes.
So again, if you get a chance, come out tomorrow. Soul Yoga Fest.
Yes, sir.
Come be enlightened. Come be engaged. Come get your balance on. See what these two individuals here, because they are one.
Yes.
You could, if you see them together, they hey, Norman Rockwell ain't got nothing on y'all. Y'all already the picture. Y'all already the picture. So again, I thank you for the time and energy you devoted to our community over the years.
Thank you, brother.
So what you guys got going on, we want to know. We're gonna put it out there again tomorrow. Come out, check it out. I may have to come check out that Jamaican brother. He got dreads.
Which one?
The one that's coming from Jamaica? Is it Jamaican?
Actually, it's a sister.
A sister. She have dreads?
No, she doesn't. But
okay, well,
a lot of people have locks. Come on, just come on.
I know you got yours.
Exactly.
If I had hair, I had to put it like that. I had flowing hair once though, but I was born with it, so it left me early. But again, I will let y'all know tomorrow. Come out, get your yoga skills on. This couple will be there presented. We're gonna pause for the cause, take a real good picture, put it on our Facebook page. Come out and engage with these individuals. They're doing things for us. And most importantly, they're taking care of our children. See, now I say that because I ain't got none theoretically. But the village, if you're listening to me, you're part of my village. You're one of the constituents. So therefore, you are my family. That's what we need to do. Every now and then, we have some furniture moving. But every now and then, we can stretch it out and get it back together, eat well and do well, and try to be together as one.
Yes.
So once again, thank you. Thank the station. Thank your staff. We could not have this kind of outreach were it not for you.
Oh man, as long as I'm here, that's all I can do.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. It's Like It Is Radio. Tim's, if you look at me, and we'll get some music going because we want to take a picture with these individuals that are here. Moving and growing, flowing and growing. You know how we do. We're back up in your face because this is Like It Is Radio. What a morning we're having. We'll let you know where the African event is happening this coming up Tuesday over at the newest cafe and central place for Africans to come. She said she got some mad food up in there, so I'm going to have to go on by. Tuesday, Town Center, you know how to get out there. That's the place to be. Check out my man Ike and the company. And tomorrow, Soul Yoga Fest. An opportunity for you to come and get balance, stretch it out, if you will. Get your back and get your chakras open and all that good stuff. And tonight, the 6th annual. That's right, six. That's 6. That's not 5. That's not 4. That's 6 annual. That means he does it every year. Black Las Vegas Film Festival. Miss Michelle. Kudos. The opportunity to be on film that she's presented to me through the audition that was granted. I guess I made it through the audition. That was kind of cool for me because I have been on TV. I have been in some films, but I never really had a speaking role. I've been an extra. My boys say they're doing videos. Yeah, I've been in some heavy D videos and all that, and all those kind of things in New York. In the early days when Sean was just Sean. Y'all don't know the early days, but that movie's coming out pretty soon because, in fact, my man is working on the new production about Heavy D's life. So we'll see that soon. As you know, American Soul is on right now. We need to support that. But the importance of doing these things to sustain us, to keep us going. The election is over. The new one's on the horizon. You see all kind of folk going on. But let's keep it local for a minute because we still are dealing and engaging with several fronts here in this community. Some need to be addressed. Our legislators are upstate. Are you aware of that? The state laws are being convened and made right now by our Assembly and by our Senate. So, they only can meet for 180 days. I'm trying to give you a short synopsis of what it is. So during that 180 days, which does last, the laws that they impact and cover have to, if you will, go on longer than that session. Inasmuch as whatever happens now will be adjudicated and sent to us and we'll have to live with. So a few years ago, this thing called marijuana legislation came through, and we were having the blessed opportunity to generate revenue, which is how it was sold to us. If you legalize marijuana, meaning other than medicinal, that the tax base that would be derived from it would improve our educational system. Several legislators have said that, and this is why they were sold to us, and they money guaranteed to make the 50th state in terms of educational spending better. Yes, Nevada is the proud 50th state. I believe we would be 51st if they counted Puerto Rico. Because, I'm just telling you what it is. They're not educating the kids, because if they educate the kids, you won't work in the casino. You'll want to run the casino. If you ever notice that a lot of our college graduates, and I say our because I'm here, and I've been here long enough to be part of it, if they get a degree, they usually don't come back here. I'm just talking about to the parents who are sending their kids to school to get that degree. It's a beautiful thing to get a degree. It shows that you have the discipline. You get a master's degree. If you stay long enough and get that doctorate that only, I believe, less than 10% African Americans acquire through their lifetime. 10% of us get a doctorate in some type of thing, and that could be considered law, that could be considered, engineering. But when you get a doctorate, you can teach it. You can teach it, and that's what we need to figure out. So here it is. The legislators are back upstate, and education is my whole thing, because I pay into this tax base on a heavy basis. And I have no children. I have children of the village that I consider my children, but no direct children that I can write to the IRS, my uncle, and tell I want a deduction. Many of us do have children, and many of us pay into this tax system. The only place you can really get your money back in taxes really is through the educational system, because we're not law enforcement, if you will, because that's how you get the money. Law enforcement gets the money. The educational system gets the money. Social services are being rendered back. You can't even get a tuna salad sandwich at these places. You get bologna. But the bottom line is all these things are being held back. So here it is, an opportunity where your children, again, have been not educated, but the money that was promised to us, the community, the city of Las Vegas, the county of Clark, the state of Nevada, by several legislators who pushed through us this engineering thing that would allow marijuana to be sold through direct benefits to the educational system, which we voted on a few years ago through the legislature, and then voted on again to bring it forth. All right, so smoke places are all over the place. All over the place. They're making millions, but somehow the tax dollars stuff going on, because I go online and I look at it and I see whose bill is what and what is what. We have an educational debacle system right here in this entire state. The entire state is suffering because all the children are supposed to be educated at a certain level. And as we know, the proficiency of most high school students, last couple of times they had that proficiency exam that they had to remove due to the high rate of failure, of the students of the state, of the county, of the city. Education is what's going to bring us forward. And if the money that is not being spent properly, because they found that money for the Raiders Stadium, didn't they? They found that money for the Raiders Stadium, didn't they? And they promised us jobs. Only jobs are going to be given under minimum wage jobs of pushing popcorn and selling beer and soda. The larger entities had to get together to make it happen. But they made that happen. Where are the educational dollars that are supposed to be derived from the sales of marijuana in this state for the past 2 years? I know a little bit about banking. I've been blessed to have several, West Indians. You know how Jamaicans, we love money almost as much as Nigerians. But the reality is, paying attention to where the dollars go is what my grandfather said, owning of property where the money go. The owner of the property get the money. So here it is. Now that they're selling this marijuana, where is all that money? Because every time I have a friend come to town, And I'm blessed to have some friends that have means. When I pick them up at the airport, they say, hey, I said, where are you staying? You know what they tell me? I want to make a stop before I get to the hotel. I want to see what this is all about, because they don't have it where they live. They don't go have it back to where they live. So that money where is it going? Even if it is that they transferred some money to the state, from the state to marijuana, from marijuana to the school district, which I believe was earlier reported about 27 million for the initial first, I believe, 9 months. Why are not any of our legislators, whether here or upstate, or even in the school system, where we know we have racial problems, because there's another racial problem, I didn't even get into that yet. Yeah, a little girl was arrested for racial threats. Believe that? You know where it was. Silverado. I'm going to leave that alone. In that area, but those are the more or less melanated areas, if you will. Long story short, the money from marijuana should go to benefit this community as a large state. Jersey has some of the smartest people I've ever met because they have a good educational system, in addition to good roads and, yes, high taxes. I'll give you that. But the Jersey kid is educated. Jersey kids are educated because the school systems are of such that they tax the individuals at a high rate to get a performance education out of the children. That's why that state is populous. That's why there's people in Jersey come over the bridge to work in the city. The bottom line is, where is the educational representation of your tax dollars through our children that was presented to us through this marijuana legislation? I would submit, and I'm not calling for a call of action, but we need to reach our legislators in the final phases and stages of this legislation session. Around them, if you would take $100,000 and put it in the bank, in a CD, which is called, or a treasury note, or a bond, if you put that in for a period of years, that $100,000 will easily turn into $1 million. Easily. The rates are higher, the interest is better, and it's fortified by the fact that it's money from the state guaranteeing it back to you for these building programs, such as the stadium, such as the highways, such as the infrastructure that Obama, all that stuff they're being built out there, the top part of the 15 and this and that, that's Obama money. They were built with bonds. But if you have money, you put it in the bank for a period of time, it develops interest. And if the interest isn't being paid out, and even if they skimped, they could put the money in the bank and then just pay the city or the education system the profit off the interest and never actually fortify the money over. Why is there no investigation? I'm asking for an investigation. I'm asking for the citizens to do their due right and hold these people who are elected to us to tell us what's going on. We have a right to know. This community is very disenfranchised educationally. And that's not a black thing. That's not a white thing. That's not even a Hispanic thing. That's a Las Vegas thing. How many children in this community are coming through the regular processes and going to, let's just say, a minor league Ivy League school, like a Vassar or a Dartmouth? I ain't even shooting at Harvard and Yale. I'm just saying the regular schools. Even the children that we send to our private HBCUs. When they go there, unfortunately, they're not at the same level of some of the children coming out of the other states. They're forced to, you are forced to put your child in college in a remedial math program that they should have had this work done in high school. Yeah, I said it. I'm telling you, I know they go into the college fairs, and I know the facts because I talk to their parents. Unfortunately, what they're being provided is on a hard, large male scale. I mean male, but the numbers are desperately drastic for the black African Americans. Where are the educational advocates that are really working in the benefit of their students? As you know, there was a problem at Arbor View a few weeks ago where some type of racial incident arose, where they're trying to tamp it down, but we're seeing that they do learn from past experiences. In Arbor View, several students went online, not online, but Instagram, and made threats against African American students. The parents of the students who were involved, who were being victimized by having their pictures put on the Instagram post saying we need to have another Columbine incident. We need to get these students off. Black students' pictures were put under those captions. Okay, when the school board was notified via the parents telling me they called the school, nothing was done. But here we had an event that happened in Colorado where they suspected a young lady of being able to do the same thing. And that school system closed down for the entire day till they captured this individual who was not even around when Columbine started, who got on a plane on through social media. She got on a plane and went there. Somehow she was taken out, but the bottom line is they closed that school district down in a proactive manner. So I don't know. Here we have it now. There's another event. It's on the news. Yes, because the first event wasn't really on the news, y'all. Power 88 was letting you know where it was. But the reality of this radio station, what we try to do here, as you've heard through the dialogue today, is to involve you and engage you and enlighten you and encourage you and often entertain you. And let you know some of the events that are going on in the community. And maybe talk about some things that aren't too popular. So there are popular events. I've shown that. We were going to talk about the Yoga Fest tomorrow. We got Miss Michelle tonight. Come see Franklyn G making his screen debut along with DJ Thump, my man E.C. Adams, Miss Promise Marks. And thanks again to the entire Miss Michelle staff, cadre, and company that helps make these films happen. I'll see y'all on the orange carpet, but we got to talk about some other things. That marijuana money is important, y'all. They are up there. They're not talking about it. The school district is getting it. Where's this going? We're not seeing it in our school. But I bet you they're going to get some fortified tanks and cars out there now that they got racial problems, because I heard about what happened at Rancho before. I heard they had helicopters landed on the field. I seen my man Stan made a documentary. The summer of 1919 was called the Red Summer. This is what? 2019? So that means we've been here 400 years? So the bottom line is 1919. Y'all can read about the Red Summer. It was the most outrageous year for Negroes, if you will, because that's what we would call colored, in terms of the violent racial. That's right. There were 25 race riots, or what they would call race riots, in that year. And it was set up the same way we're seeing now, with small little events and happening in small places and not being attention to. A benign neglect, if you will. Or we see it, but we don't feel it. There are racial incidents going on. If we educate our students, because that is how that is blended. Because if you're going to school with us, you can learn from us. We can be on the team from you. You can be on the team with us. We can spend the night at your house. We can develop friendships and create those barriers, or reduce those barriers that exist. But the bottom line is, if our educational system is not being funded properly, we have a problem. Let's look at our legislators and ask them, where is the money? This is Like It Is Radio. You can always check us out on Facebook. I'll see you tonight at the Suncoast. That's right. Verley's making his world premiere. And you can always go to Facebook and check us out. Crayzon Deeyon, or Like It Is Radio. We got a lot of things happening. But yes, tonight, the world premiere of your man Franklyn G.
That's how we do that on a beautiful Friday morning. This is Like It Is.
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart, crazy.